Okay, camera stopped on me as I was boring that. Well, I got it I have that inside diameter board, and I went over to bandsawed it off. And I'm going to switch over to 5C collet now. So, take the 3-jaw off. It has 3 cam lock pins. Loosen one up, 2 up. I didn't take and loosen this one all the way up. That's why I loosened it halfway and didn't give it a wrap. You've seen me do this a few times already. I've shown. Make sure the inside's clean. And Pookie thinks it's supper time and it ain't even close. And make sure this is clean. Right. Okay, and here. Good. Grab the collet tube, stick it in the back. Put on the handle. Which is just 2 half-dog set screws that rise and get into the bearing. Right? It's ready. 3/4 inch. No. Turn this to, oh yeah, 625. So 5/8 collet. First thing we'll do is face it to length. That's at the length I want. Oop, too tight. Too tight. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to face it off to clean up, and then we'll see where we're at. And that's good. 800. Alright, what's going on here? I must have pushed this out. I had to take this off there. Alright, we'll see where we're at. I want to go, and I want to leave the threaded spud on there. I want to leave about 150. So the overall length is 1 inch 500 plus 150. So an inch 1" 650 is what I want. And we are at, oh boy, we're a long ways off. We have, I didn't mess up here, did I? No, that's right. So we've got 100, 200, got about 200, about a 1/4 inch to take off of that. Back up here, touch off. Hit 50 on the crack here. That was 50. There's 100. $150. Tool bit moved on me. Not sure why. All right. It'll be all right. Measure where I'm at. We're at 740, 90 thou to go. Alright, here and touch off again. We got 90 thou. 50. And there's 90. Check it one more time. Should be 1 inch, 650. Yeah, about 5 thou under that, but that's okay. Touched off a little heavy on that. Now we're gonna turn the major diameter, 1/2 inch. And we want to go 150. So I'm gonna come up here and touch off. And I want to go 150. And where's my mic? See where we're at. We are at 629. You got 129 to go. Let's go 50. And another 50. Should be about 29 thousandths left now. And we are at 25 thou. And I don't believe I went under at all on the major diameter of the threads. And this thread fits pretty nice. And I'm just gonna see where I ended up at. No, I ended up right at 500. So that's where I want to be. So I want to take 25 thou off of that yet. 10, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 25 thou. $150, and then I'm going to back out. So now we're set up for single pointing again. Oh, thread relief first. And I have a 50 thou part off blade that I put the thread relief last time in. That's what I'm going to do again. I'm just going to come up here and touch. I don't remember what the thread depth is. I'll go to my handy dandy fishtail, and it's a 28 thread, so right there is 46, which is double the thread depth. And the reason it's double the thread depth, that would be on the diameter. So it's 46 thousandths, which would be 23 is the depth of thread. But so we're going to go in. So we're going to go in 46 thousandths on the part off blade. Much. Set my dial. Go in 46 thou at least. If I went any wider than that. I think that was the total width that I went. Let's see here. Yep. And that's the total width I went on this one. And it worked. So now we'll get the single point tool out. I think I left it set up. Thought I left it set up. There, single. Oh, right here it is. And then the compound is still set, so I've got that turned all the way in. I'm going to turn my cross slide in until it just touches. until it just makes a scratch on it. Not quite. It took the oil that's on there off, but it didn't. Right there, it's just touching. So now I'm going to zero out my travel, or my dial, and go 46 thousandths. 10, 20, 30, 40, 2, 4, 6. And then I'm going to take my handle off so I don't bump it again. That worked well last time. Keeps me from bumping it with my belly. I keep meaning to make these handles smaller, and I haven't done it yet. They don't need to be this long and this big. It could be about half that the size and be just fine. Alright, so that's a finished thread. So now I'm going to crank it over here, and I'm going to crank the compound out and then crank it in until it just touches. That'll just give you an idea where I'm starting. Just scratches. Right there. I'm going to zero that. And it should be still set up at 28. I haven't changed anything there. Put this in neutral. Turn the power off. Now I don't have my chuck to turn it. Last time I had my 3-jaw. There we go. All right. So, actually I should just put a chamfer on that first. Take this back out of gear. And put this into a lower range, A1. I want to just go put a lead chamfer on. I just turned it into the finished pass. Now, where was I here? There. 0. Turn this off, put this out of gear. There we go. Put this in gear. Turn this in. I'm going to turn it in about 10 thou. And then once I engage the half nut, I'm going to leave it engaged. Alright, it's engaged. I could put my handle on there now. I do have a handle for this, a crank handle that I made, and I think I am going to do that. It's nothing fancy, it's just a piece of metal, piece of scrap metal that I clamp onto the 5C collet tube. And then that way I can crank it. You just want to make sure you don't leave that on there when you're done. It could be very dangerous. Even though it's bolted on there, it could break those small bolts and go flying. So now I can crank it, which makes it a lot easier. Okay, back out. Back in. Pretty heavy cut that time. Back out. That was at 15. $15, $20. Plus I'm using high-speed bit. If you tried to do this with carbide, you'd probably chip it right away. $25. Back it out. Pretty close to depth already here. I'm taking some pretty healthy cuts though. And turn it to finished depth. And I'll want to do this finish depth a couple times here, 2 or 3 times if spring passes. Alright, now let's get this out of the way and then we'll check and see. A lot of cranking to get it out of the way though if I want to keep it, the thread nut on the, I could just, it's on 1.5. I can just disengage. And should be close, if not right on. Perfect. Perfect every time. No, not every time, but it's perfect there. Perfect cut. All right. Take my handle off. Don't want to leave that on there. It always makes me nervous when I put that on there because I'm afraid that I'm going to forget it and send it flying and get beamed by it. Like I say, it's dangerous to do, but it sure works nice. Works nice when you got a thread going right up to a shoulder and hardly any thread relief. So there it is. Stick that back up here. All right, so now we can put her back in gear and take this out of gear, take that out of gear, put this into gear, put this into gear, and now we can bore the 1/2-inch hole through. Plus I want to put a chamfer on this side, on both sides of that. Well, on this side anyway. A slight chamfer. I'm going to do that with the threading tool. I put my handle back on. I'm going to hit the end of that with a with a file, a little bit of a burr there. Actually, I'm going to take a stone after it. Take a stone after it. Wasn't much of a burr, but there was a little bit of a burr there. So now, center drill and bore a 250 hole through there. Wonder if I shouldn't go to a 5/16 hole through there. It'd give me a little bit bigger wall thickness on the bushing to press in there. Now I'm going to stick with a 250. And this one I am just going to drill and ream. I'm going to chance it. I was careful going through. I didn't pack it all and it just went right through. Where you throw it off is when you do a peck drill, and lips on the drill are slightly different. They don't have to be much different, just all you have to do is just slightly different. And if I can find the 1/4 inch reamer, $2.53. 249. That'll work. That's even better. I got 250 stock. Brass stock that I can use then. And I'll shift that down into one. Put a little goop on there. It's going to be a bushing with a 1/8 inch IDs, so plenty good enough. All right, making headway. Chamfer that a little bit. I'll use my burr knife for that. There you go. Cool.